Do you have a small dick? If you do, no worries. This is Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlshaves.com, and I'm going to help you make girls happy even if you have a small dick. Now, the main premise of this video is that you want to fuck a woman here, and if you fuck her here, you can fuck her here really, really hard. Because here's the thing. Guys, we really get worried about size and appearances. And this is because we judge the world based on our paradigm. The male paradigm is based off of survival. And so when we see big, strong men, muscles, they look scary or they have a bigger dick than us, we tend to compete with those men and feel smaller. I'm very short, so I'm 5'7". I forgot what that is in centimeters. But when you see someone who's bigger than you, there's a feeling of, that guy could kill me. And if we were living in a particular time when that was more prevalent, then that would be a serious concern. And even now, it's still a serious concern. You never know. You get in some bar fight and it's a big guy and he beats the shit out of you. Maybe. But, weapons were evolved to defend against predators and other humans who were bigger than us. But yet, there is still that fear of someone who is bigger and stronger than us. Women don't have to worry about that. I mean, obviously they do, but they see it more as okay, I can mate with him and he'll protect me. So he's this big, scary guy that everyone's scared of, and then he'll love me because I'm, he's fucking my pussy and I have his baby. And so women can attach to that guy, whereas the man, it's kind of like, okay, unless you're gay, you're not going to submit to him sexually. So either have to be his friend or you have to be able to beat him if he becomes hostile, if we're talking about like hunter-gatherer times, or even, until the advent of, serious weaponry. Size with swords and everything, size still mattered a lot. It was a huge advantage. You have a reach advantage, you have a strength advantage, a swinging advantage. And it's just intimidating to go up against someone who's bigger than you. So we see the world through these eyes, right? We live in a modern civilization, but we still have the body of an animal. And that's never going to change. Even if we augment ourselves with technology, we're still going to have that beating animal heart where we judge things based on perception and visuality. And because we judge things based on visuals, we also judge our sexuality, our sexual preferences based on visuals, right? Men are visual. We watch pornography. Obviously, women watch pornography. I'm not denying that. But they mostly prefer to read it because it creates a storyline. And this, I think, goes back to the fact that it's not the visual part of a man, whether he's big, strong, or good looking, or has a big dick. It's what he can do. Because a small man can become an emperor or a king, and he's far more dominant than a big guy who's his knight. Right, so that knight is his subordinate, and so this guy's dominant. So women have developed more of a taste for behaviors rather than a taste for size. But as men, like I just said with that huge explanation, we judge things based on size because that's our survival instinct. So we think size matters and also looks matter because that's how we judge the world. A woman is our attraction to her is mostly looks. That's just the way it is. If you want to get mad at that, go fuck yourself. There is a centering of visual focus when it comes to the male paradigm, but women are not operating like that. Do women like good looks? Duh. Do women like tall men? Yes, of course. Do women like guys with big dicks? Yep, they do. They like big dicks. They like real big fat dicks. They love it. The idea of this big dick dominating them, it really turns them on. That's just the way it is. But if you don't have one, what the fuck are you gonna do? Sit there and complain? Do you wanna get laid or not? So you have a decision. Do you have a small dick? Okay, learn how to fuck a girl here because as I just explained, women are more concerned with behaviors rather than your born stature. And you can do things to make yourself more attractive physically to her, and that'll help fuck her here based on the visuals, but then it's behavioral, okay? So if you're short or have a small dick or anything that makes you feel small, you want to compensate with that with bigger muscles, better looking style, dominant body language, right? Because you're little, don't go like this. Go like this. You can have small guys standing around big guys, but the small guy looks bigger in his energy because he carries himself differently. And you can have a guy who's small but commands men bigger than him because if we were just based on our size, in the animal kingdom, usually size wins. I mean, there's times when technique beats size. I remember watching this video with two bears wrestling, and the smaller bear got put on the bottom, but he was using natural jujitsu, basically bear jitsu, and he was keeping the bigger bear at bay with his legs and kept pushing on the hips, and that kept the bigger bear from mauling him, and he won the fight. But for the most part, bigger usually wins when it comes to the animal kingdom, or more aggressive. However, if we were determined in our survival and our supremacy by size, big men would be ruling the world. But that's not the way it is, right? A smaller man can set a trap because he has IQ and intelligence, and it kills the bigger man in a fight. He has better social status, so maybe he can't fight the big guy, but he can get a friend who will fight him for him. That's how humans work. We're social beings, and we're also engineering beings. That's how we've gained supremacy in the world. We engineered guns, swords, knives, bow and arrows. We learned how to mold the world to our desires, and that allowed us to be supreme over beings who are way, way fucking bigger than us. And so you need to engineer yourself in a way that compensates for your smallness when it comes to your dick. And like I said, women are mental, so if you look good, you have a dominant body gesture, you have bigger muscles, you can make more money, you can become good with girls in general. That's more attractive. A guy with a big dick, or a guy who maybe has a small dick but he's got a bunch of girls, there's something special about him, because why are all these girls with him? If it was just the guy with the big dick, then he would just get girls free. And sure, if a girl hears you have a big dick, she's probably going to be attracted to you. I've seen that, but it doesn't guarantee it. And you can overcome those natural born weaknesses based on other achievements that you make in your life. So that's the way to make yourself look bigger. And then the real one is to have the behavior of you being dominant over her. Even in bed, you can pull this off. Maybe you don't have a big dick that's going to make her feel small, because women want to feel small. But what you can do is you can have very dominant sexual positions. And I actually have a video on sexual positions right here. And a lot of them are based on you being big and you're towering over her. So maybe you have a small dick, but then you scoop her up and you pull her legs under her chest, and you have your arms around her like this, and you're lightly choking her, and you're looking at her with a very aggressive look. Of course, it's a safe, consensual space, but you're being very intense with sex, and then you're just fucking pile driving into her, right? So your dick may only be, what's the average? I think 5.5 inches. So let's say you even have a smaller dick than that. Let's say you have a 3-inch dick or a 4-inch dick, but it's hard, right? And you're just fucking slamming into her, and you have this big fucking body, right? Have you ever seen videos where these animals charging towards humans and they go raw, and they make themselves big, and then the animal goes rah? So even though that animal was 5 times the weight of the human, it gives the perception that one is bigger than he is. And so you're gonna fuck her here by making her feel small through the sexual positions. And also, dominance is not necessarily based on size. So if she's very submissive around you because you have cool collective body language and you're not chasing her, right? You can be passionate and romantic, but you don't need her. You're very desiring of her, but you don't need her. Or maybe you're one of those cool, calm guys, and she's like, hi, she's your girlfriend, and you're just on the couch like this, and she's like, hey, honey, how are you? And starts kissing you, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You start kissing her back. You start, grabbing her ass, spanking her ass. You have this very detached, masterful energy about you. And she feels like this teenage girl who's just like, oh my God, my man, and that's going to get her in the submissive feminine energy and the submissive feminine mood, and she's going to be really wet for you. And so by the time you go to bed, she's already going to be just dripping wet, and she's going to be ready for your dick. And even though you don't have this big honking dick that can spread her apart, you can still give her the experience of you ripping her apart, because you have such a dominant aura about you. You're a guy who's successful in his life socially, financially, professionally, sexually, personality-wise, when it comes to your wisdom about the world. There's so many different ways that you can dominate women, and not just physically. But because we live in a world where men are intimidated by other men who have superior physical attributes, 2 things happen. One, there's a feedback loop where these men think that they're not good enough, so they just continue to be more submissive and more submissive and more submissive. And this creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where you don't get success with women. So you attribute it to the fact that you're small or you have a small dick or you're not good looking, but all of these things can be overcome. And so you just sink lower and lower on the social totem pole. And then you backwards rationalize it and say it's because I'm small. But all that smallness did was give you the lack of confidence. But if you would just push beyond that and gain some confidence in some other area and compensated for it, then you would have success and not attribute it to the fact that you're born with a small penis. Secondly, what happens is, yes, there is a natural attraction that happens if you're taller or have a big dick or better looking or whatever. And then that guy gets a positive feedback loop where he's getting a little bit more success because maybe he went through puberty earlier than the other guys, and he's walking around with his fucking anaconda, and some girls see it in his pants and they're like, oh, okay. And then one girl fucks him, and then the other girls hear about it, and he has a bunch of success in high school and in college. And so he's going through life with this positive self-esteem because of his history. Whereas the other guy who is short and seeing all the girls, or shorter, has a small dick, seeing all these girls like him, they get the reciprocal of that, or the converse of that, and they have a negative feedback loop. And so two different guys are going in complete different directions. But if this guy had simply just understood, like, okay, if you had watched this video and he's like, okay, maybe it's not the best thing that I have a small dick, but I can compensate for it. And I can make myself attractive in other ways. I can learn how to fuck a girl right, even if I have a small dick, because I don't know the exact physicality of it, but I'm pretty sure that, if you can get at least just a few inches into a woman, you can pleasure her physically like any other man can. But what's difference between a guy with a big dick is he has an easy access to fucking her mentally, because she can feel like she's getting dominated. She can feel every inch spreading her apart. And it creates this submissive mood. Whereas a guy who's smaller, maybe he needs to do other things to make her feel submissive. But there's BDSM. There's just good game, right? You spend the night seducing her like fucking magic. She's just loving your conversation. She's loving how carefree you are, how fun you are, how positive you are. And there's this intense foreplay going on. And then once you get back to her place or your place, she's just wet and ready to take it. And so she takes down your pants. She's like, I don't care. Like, I'm fucking into you, and just takes that fucking dick. Whereas another guy, maybe he doesn't have a great seduction, and then she takes him home and he's got a big dick. She's like, hey, he's got a big dick, cool. So she gets points for that, but he fucks her, and then it's just kind of like, yeah, that was good. He had a big dick, hot, But then the other guy's just like, I don't know, there's something about him, the way that he seduced me, the way that he makes me feel, the way he touches me, just ugh. That is really going to drive her crazy, and so she's going to text you back rather than the guy with the big dick. So, if you have a small dick, what are you going to do about it? Okay? If you're fat, you can do something about it. Right? If you have shitty fashion, there's something you can do about it. But big dick and your stature, that's just what you have to deal with. I'm a short guy. Okay? And so I had to compete with guys who are bigger than me, but eventually it didn't become that big of a deal. Some of the guys who I know who are the absolute best with women are my size. And I think that's because they were born with that adversity, and then they overcame it. You have some advantage. There is some sort of advantage that you have. It could be your intelligence. It could be you're short and you're good looking though, right? Maybe some guy's tall, but he's not good looking. Are there some guys who have it all? Yep, that's just the way it is, okay? Accept your fate. So, admit your weaknesses. You can even make fun of it with girls, right? Just be like, yeah, I got a small dick, so whatever. Well, if you just own it, it can work. If you got a big dick, be proud of it, Like, yeah, I got a big dick. Take your natural genetic advantage, right? Don't be ashamed of it either. So, admit your weaknesses, find your strengths, focus on your strengths, and then build more strengths. Because there's some weaknesses that you just can't change, because technology hasn't gotten to the point where we can just all of a sudden have a super big dick. But that would be great, I guess. But yeah, you just need to admit what you have not going so well, focus on what is going so well, and then focus on that 100 times and just pound your fucking advantages into the ground and just go and go and go and go and get more advantages and get rich and get stylish and get intelligent and get creative and get well-read and get curious about women, get good with women, learn game, learn how to speak sexy, learn how to walk with fucking swag. And that, I promise you, because you're judging the world based on a male mindset, But when it comes to sex, what you need to focus on is what is she thinking. And once you figure out that women care more about behaviors and non-tangible things, then you're gonna think, okay, I can be any other guy who has a natural physical advantage over me, but because I know how women think and I know how they see the world, I can get her 10 times wetter than he can just because he has a bigger dick. Because I know game and I know how to get in here and fuck her here. Then when I fuck her here, she comes within 3 minutes because I already made her come here. Okay. This is Poppy, Hector Castillo, girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Instagram. Also check out my college book. You can hear all of my crazy ass stories when I was in college. It also teaches you the basic principles of social circle interactions. I swear to God, it's always social circle. That fucking phrase is impossible. Social, I think it's because I try to jump between social circle and I go sha, you know? Social circle. Yeah, I just need to make a gap between social circle. See, I'm still vocally retarded even after so many years of fucking trying to perfect my voice. Social circle game. Teaches you that shit. I'm just gonna call it that shit. And it teaches you the principles of reputation and building reputation, where girls are like, oh my God, this guy, he's so cool. He has all the girls. Oh my God, I wanna fuck him. Yeah, he has a small dick, but I still wanna fuck him. Okay, cool. Ah. Or if you have a big dick, oh yeah, I heard he has a big dick because he's fucking all these girls. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'll teach you how to get that social status so you can use it to make friends and get girls. And it's got a bunch of funny ass stories. So check it out in the description below. It's called King of College. Hope you grab it. Also, I'll put it right here. Okay, Hector Castillo, Poppy, girlschase.com. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you soon.
Bye.